Hello, everyone. Welcome to WinCat Sports with our Lions postgame. An embarrassing day for the Lions. They
Complete
lost
ass.
38-6 to the Ravens. Bad games happen, but you can't lose that bad. Jared Goff was 33 for 53, 284 yards, one interception. We never got in the end zone. Gibbs didn't have the greatest day, but he at least ran the ball a little bit. He had 68 yards total rushing for 11 carries. And St. Brown had 13 catches for 102 yards. Your main problem with the offense today is you just couldn't get in the end zone. They stopped you in the red zone, and you just, from the get-go, got beat up.
You know, I predicted them to lose this game again at the beginning of the season.
I think we all did.
But there's losing, and then there's this. This was an absolute disgrace, what they did today. If you want to be a contender, you cannot play like this. I mean, there was nothing good to say about today's game. There really wasn't. I mean, except for the fact that I had Lamar Jackson in my fantasy. There you go.
I had Mark Andrews,
but
I played the Lions defense.
they seemed lost from the beginning. Their defense didn't even get a sack on Lamar. Their secondary couldn't cover anybody. They looked absolutely unprepared to play this game. And maybe I think a little bit might have the fact that maybe they're believing their own hype a little bit, drinking a little bit of their own blue Kool-Aid. They are 5-1. They've beaten the teams so far that they've had to beat. And then they came across the team that has a solid offensive line, just a solid team all around. Their defense is good. Lamar Jackson, when he wants to be, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And their receivers ran great routes. So, yeah, you got to do better than this, guys. There's losing, and then there's this.
Yeah.
A dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, these things are going to happen at least once or twice. They're probably going to happen again this year.
To who?
To us. I think we're going to lose again, and we'll probably not show up.
You can't lose like that, Mike.
Yeah, but not in the playoffs. But this is just football. This is just pro football. I mean, the Raiders got molested today by the Bears. And
it wasn't the Bears. Bears didn't.
Bears,
the Raiders.
Yeah,
okay.
Raiders.
Yes.
And then the Bills lost to a horrible New England team. I mean, things happen. Today was a day where the Lions are not as bad as what they seem today, and Baltimore is not as good. But it just was a perfect storm of crap, and everything about today was bad for the Lions. They're not – I don't think you can lose. What I agree with you, what you said was, it's not their fault. Everybody is pumping them up and drinking the Kool-Aid and saying that they're the number one team. All this BS power rankings. Who cares after 6 games and you're doing this power?
Yeah.
Like they mean anything. They mean nothing.
But
look at them after 10 games. You'll have a better idea of where we're going. And I just think, like I said, it's an overreaction to get too upset. I mean, we wanted them to win, sure. But if they beat the Raiders, they're going to be 6-2 going into the break with an awful easy schedule the rest of the way.
Do you remember what your score prediction was at the beginning of the year for this game? I think I said something like 24-20.
I think
that would have been a competitive game. But
I thought we all thought it was going to be close. But
there's not a single person today that thought, and people right before the game were saying the same thing, that all the metrics were on the Lions' side. They should have won this game. Everything about. Sometimes things just happen. Sometimes you just have an awful.
And
this
is.
I
just want to add, this wasn't the only game that I saw it in, but they're having a pretty bad problem with pass rush, I think.
Well, they do it.
Well, so they have another bad game. They had the bad game.
They're going to have
bad games
at least the third
this
game.
one.
Look, the rest.
So you were playing a top offensive line. Holding as usual is going on, but it doesn't always get called.
I mean, that first half, the refs were letting them hold.
But it is what it is.
And that Hutchinson, that low hit that Hutchinson they threw a flag on was not anything like that.
It's crap.
So,
but overall, Baltimore also just had a better day. Lamar Jackson was almost perfect today. He was 21 for 27, 357 yards, 3 TDs. Their rushing attack wasn't bad. They ran for 146 yards between 3 different rushers. So they were ready to play, and they came out and they played. Your defense wasn't there. Of course, you're going to get the fire Aaron Glenn train going again.
Not me, but I can imagine that's
another
gonna
loss.
happen.
Another loss. Just go, fire him. If you're gonna get the same energy to Ben Johnson, then since you didn't even get a touchdown, right? You got 6
Fire
points.
them all.
Fire them all. If you're gonna have that
Fire
energy
'em.
for how the people act, you're going to lose. You're not going to be perfect. Okay, no team is going to be perfect. The Eagles could easily lose tonight against the Dolphins. They're going to be 5-2. If magically the Vikings beat the 49ers with what's happening this week, they'll be 5-2. It's no guarantee that you are going to win every game. Yes, we would like it. The Detroit Lions fan base is not used to winning. So your reaction immediately is always the worst possible thing.
I'm not about
for the
firing anybody right now, but this was, like I said, we can all agree that we did not expect a loss like this. We thought at least a competitive game.
Right. No one ever expects a loss this bad unless you have a horrible.
It happened last year to New England.
Right. Carolina.
You had 2 bad games last, and you finished 9-8, and you were very happy at the end of the year. If you have one more game like this year, which probably end up being Dallas,
I have no doubt.
If it's any game this year,
I would pick maybe, I don't know, Chargers or Dallas.
Well, you're coming off a bye for the Chargers.
I don't think anybody we play left is close to as good as Baltimore, though. So I don't think it will be this bad. But you're going to have a game where you do not play well, and maybe the other team comes up and bites you in the ass. Or Minnesota. Hey, the Chargers, they're not a bad team. They're not playing well this year, but the Chargers is a tough game.
All I can hope for is that they have a little bit of a talk this week and try to right some of the things that went wrong. I think Paschal came back.
He did.
He needs time. I can look at it that way. Vaitai didn't look so great out there. He needs more time. Same with Gibbs, although Gibbs had a pretty decent game. I think he had over 100 all-purpose yards.
He was like I said, they all did pretty good. Like your offense didn't do bad today. You just couldn't get in the end zone. You were pushing the ball down the field, but once you got inside that 20, you were screwed. You couldn't do a single thing. So that was the big problem today. I mean, you had 72 total plays today. You were 5 for 16 on third down. You had 1 first down penalty. You only had 17 first downs, total 18 first downs total throughout the game. Ravens had 23, but once you got into the red zone, that was where you started to fall apart. You would even fully get into the red zone. You had 1 attempt in the red zone. You couldn't get past the 20.
And Jackson had all day to throw. I mean, they were getting nothing on that guy.
Guys, if worst case scenario to me, if Goff does, and that was one of the things I do want to bring up. Why they left Jared Goff in the fourth quarter makes no sense. To me.
0 sense. I agreed with you. We were texting back and forth about this.
He is the one person you cannot see go down. Do not play him unnecessarily.
I would have taken
no sense.
I would have taken Gibbs out. I would have taken
St. Brown
out. I would have taken JMO out.
I would have taken Gibbs because Gibbs so far doesn't seem like to be much of an integral part. So far, I'm disappointed with how he plays, but he's still got time. We're still winning.
I don't think he's a number 1 running back type of person. So.
But at the moment, right, it's a week to learn. You have a long week to get healthy again, get everybody who's somewhat hurt an extra day because you play Monday night next against the Raiders, which you should beat them. No problem going into your bye and be 6-2.
Yes, and everyone here would love to end up with a 1 or 2 seed so that quite possibly we don't have to play in Philly for a game if that's the case. But until something disastrous happens, I cannot see anybody in our division catching us. We could win our division with probably 11 games and 6 losses easily. I just think there's nothing to panic about. A little slice of humble pie every now and then is not such a bad thing. And like I said, we were all pumped up, all riding high. And now, you know what? They see, hey, bring them back down to earth for a while. And let's beat the Raiders and go into the second half of the season.
I mean, you can't have another showing like this year at all. You can't get blown out.
Well,
I don't want to see a blowout.
No, you don't want to see a blowout.
Because it's a pretty
like
good indication. I mean, I don't know what are your guys' expectations. I want to see a division champion. I want to get to the NFC title game.
I don't think that it would have to be if they don't win this division, that would be I mean,
Yeah.
horrid.
They
Considering
should
who's
win
in
the
our-
division. There should be no
Who-
problem
Who
winning
else
the
in our
division.
division could catch us? They all suck.
They
Bears
can
won
play-
today.
They can play spoilers.
So you got the Packers that are going to be playing later, and they're the only one who can somewhat catch up to us in hindsight.
Yeah.
But overall, you have no worry about the division. You just got to get yourself healthy. Play how you've been playing the rest of the year. And like I said, it's a good thing we didn't pick this game to go to this year because I know that was one of the
No.
games I suggested.
Yeah.
So good thing we didn't go to
Yeah.
Baltimore. We've been very
Oh.
upset.
Going to Baltimore probably would have been pretty interesting.
But hopefully we got a good rest of the year. There ain't much problems ahead of us until we get to the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are even still a question mark too with how they've been
Right.
playing.
Everybody's a question mark.
We got a whole year ahead of us. No reason to press the panic button yet. Right, all of you out there are going to be saying fire our coaches because of one bad game, like you always do, because you have the old mentality of just instant panic because we instantly suck every single time. But we will be fine. We have nothing to worry about. With that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, share the video. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.
Go.